Let me just begin by thanking the community. Mayor Holt, who issued an invitation to everyone who's running to serve this country national office to come to Oklahoma City and understand the consequence and cost of intolerance and hatred and terrorism in the United States of America. And I want to thank him. I want to thank Carrie Watkins, the staff and the board here, who have helped me to understand the story of Oklahoma City, understand the story of this country, and to do so at a time that is very resonant for those of us in El Paso who a little more than 2 weeks ago saw one of the largest terror attacks in the country since 1995. 22 of our fellow Americans, citizens from Mexico as well, killed based on their race and their ethnicity by someone who is motivated and fueled by hatred and racism. So much for us to learn from. We want to serve this country. We've got to be everywhere in this country. So this week in Mississippi, in Arkansas, in Oklahoma, on our way to Kansas, a little bit later today, everyone is important, and we can't just say that. We got to be there for them. So we don't care how rural, how urban, how red, how blue, where you are in the nominating process as a state, how many electoral college votes you have. You're our fellow Americans before you're anything else, and we need to treat one another in that way. I think that's the only way to bring together a country that has never been more divided or polarized than America is today. Show up for everyone, bring everyone in.
You went to Greenwood earlier today. Could you explain the connection between your visit there and your visit here?
Learned a lot from the people of Tulsa, the community of Greenwood, the history of a proud, self-reliant, independent community who in 1921 is one of the most successful, one of the wealthiest black communities in all of America. And following that, the act of terror, the hundreds of lives lost, that entire community razed, burned down to the ground, and the memory of what had happened almost extinguished with it, but for, again, the heroic and courageous efforts of people of that community who brought me into town to make sure that I understood the history of Black Wall Street, of Greenwood, of everything that has transpired since 1921, and the need to continuously and vigilantly pursue justice and accountability and make sure that things like this do not continue to repeat in this country.